Minnesota to promote this movie must be a lot of fun because it was, I believe, shot in Minnesota and based in Minnesota partly, so talk about that.
It was, yeah. I mean, I wrote the story about my hometown, but I never thought I'd get to shoot here, so it was a pretty big treat to come back.
Tell us where you're from. Everybody needs to know.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't know already.
Born and raised in Bloomington, Minnesota. Went to St. Olaf College. I'm an Ole even. It does not get any more Minnesotan than this.
I'm a Gusty.
What?
Yeah.
You're a Gusty?
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really want to high-five you for that because it's St. Olaf, but yeah.
It means she's a Swedish Lutheran and I'm a Norwegian Lutheran.
Oh, really?
But actually, my whole family
It's like a battle.
Swedish.
Do you believe in all 95 theses?
All of them. In fact, the rest
Let's
of
talk
the interview is
about
me
that.
listening.
Yeah,
Are you
we're
ready?
gonna be talking about
Number
that.
one.
So Martin Luther, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's really get into it.
Exactly. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go back to the movie.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about the film.
It's about a couple who are getting married, and the best man, my best friend, dies at the wedding. Spoiler alert. And that's kind of that sets up the movie. That we then have to go in search of. We have to deal with this funeral arrangements, and so what would have been our honeymoon is now spent kind of dealing with this sudden death. Before we started shooting, I was with Jess Weixler, who plays my fiance and then wife, and we were trying to like hone a really good Minnesota accent, and I couldn't get
Good Minnesota accent, not like Fargo.
Yeah. Just like
Just
a subtle,
slight.
like
yeah.
Ted has a little bit.
Realistic one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Boat.
so boats, yeah,
Boat.
out. And
Yeah.
Jess got hers down pretty well, but we were just trying to listen. We were trying to pick up whatever we could, and so I taped this girl who was like, "Oh my God, I know you from somewhere. Do you go to? Where do I know you from? Do you go to Chatterbox? Do you ever go to Chatterbox?" And she also had a really like piercing voice, but I still have that tape. It was the best. And I never ended up going to the Chatterbox. And I said, no, I do. I worked there. She goes, oh yeah, that's right. You're the bartender at Chatterbox. I remember you. We talked for a long time. And she goes, I thought you were in Africa. I said, well, I went to Africa, then I came back, and now I'm working back at Chatterbox. So there's a guy at Chatterbox who unfortunately for him, looks exactly like me.
And is now in Africa.
I like the this little sample we just got of the Minnesota accent.
I don't do it in the movie
because
because,
that's pretty good.
as you can hear,
It doesn't sound like that.
I liked it.
He's just a guy.
Okay, so Lumpy, like you said, you're telling us about the friend, Lumpy. There's got to be a story there. Where did you come up with Lumpy?
Well, I think everybody has a friend like Lumpy. You know, I mean, how many weddings have you been to where somebody just gets overserved and just gets more and more obnoxious? And so it's kind of, it starts, that's like a little, you know, like Justin said, that's the tipping off of the movie. It was just that unfortunately this guy happens to die at the end of the wedding reception, and that's the very beginning of the movie. And it's just, the movie asks a lot of questions about a lot of things. Friendship, you know, like how important a honeymoon is versus real life. It's a ride, you know, it's like sometimes funny, it's sometimes sad, and ultimately kind of a heartbreaking, you know, heartwarming story, and I think people really like it. You've
proven also that you can embody a lot of different kind of characters, and so how was it for you doing this film?
It was an opportunity to get to do something a little bit more kind of grounded and a little less charactery, and it was, I often don't get those opportunities, and so I owe Ted a big debt of gratitude for giving me a chance to play somebody who's just kind of normal and entrusting me with emotional scenes that I also don't often get to do. So
that he does very well.
Shut up.
No, it's like, but it's a different thing from him. That's why, you know, I kind of, you know, when I was begging him to do the movie, it is true. No, he's so good at comedy, and I just was hoping maybe he'd want to do something. Certainly the role has funny moments too, but it's, you know, it's an emotional
A perfect way to kind of blend the two.
Yeah, this is a guy who loses his best friend and can't go on his honeymoon and disappoints his bride, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah, and it sounds like a really heavy, I mean, the more we talk about it, but it's,
not.
But it's not. I mean, there are moments of, most of it, there are a lot of moments of levity, and which you need in order to earn those kind of heavier, more emotional. But if the whole thing was, oh, my friend died, and like it'd be a leaden heavy, it's not. It's actually quite uplifting and fun.
Quirky even.
Quirky, yeah, I would say it's a little quirky.
Yeah.
A nice word for it. You guys are closing out the Twin Cities Film Festival, but when can people look forward to seeing this in theaters?
Well, the movie will come out in 2013. This is kind of like a little bit of a preview that we do at the festivals, and so we'll see. We don't have any dates yet. And we're actually doing a Q&A at the festival. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Oh,
yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
What is this Q&A you're speaking of?
Exactly. Thank you so much for clarifying that. At 1 o'clock at the DoubleTree in St. Louis Park by the Icon Theater, where Justin will be there, I'll be there. Addison Timlin, who Justin just spoke of, is flying in from New York to do it. So if people want to talk about the movie or hear about the movie, they can come to that.
That's an awesome opportunity. Thank you guys for sticking around here and chatting with me and
Oh,
coming
yeah.
to
Thank
Minnesota. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You've been quite a chatterback.
Oh yeah, I'm a chatterbox. We're gonna go over. You can bartend tonight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
you.
Thanks for having us.